Hello, gentlemen. This is Abraham Lincoln, calling from the great beyond. Every year, all October, people visit haunted houses. They break out Ouija boards and hold seances. They talk to mediums. What is it? Media. Listen, if you go to a seance and there are two people leading it, that's a multimedia experience. What I'm getting at here. In October, in general, people are out here trying to contact the dead. And on behalf of the dead, I can say that we very much appreciate it. But as November 1st rolls around, everybody forgets all about their dear departed loved ones. We're part of your lives again for a fleeting moment. But then, it's back to old photo albums and musty memory boxes. Good thing Prince is here with us now. Things got a whole lot funkier on the other side when he showed up. But I digress. We'd like to thank the Telefriends for delaying their spooky Halloween-themed episode till after Halloween. It allows us, the dead, to enjoy your enthusiasm for just a bit longer. Stay precious, my dudes, and God bless the Union.
We just do what we supposed to do. We shut it down. Shut it down.
My man.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, we've seen each other kind of a lot, but it's been a while since we got in the old Studio 3.0.
Spread it out.
Yeah, this is a kind of a good place to do those, honestly. This
sure.
reminds me of being in the library.
Yeah, but I don't have to worry about someone masturbating behind me as much.
Welcome to the Telefriends Halloween Spooktacular.
Uh-oh.
We can't call it a spooktacular, probably.
No.
What would we call it? Halloween? Like, oh.
They've all been done. We're not going to think of a new scare pun.
What if we're the Hella Friends?
What? Take that back, gory.
The Telefiends.
Way to Simpsons it up.
I mean, look, we got to do something. We got to try. We got to, these people are fucking, waiting to hear our voices, and we got to at least feel like we tried. Oh, speaking of, let's talk about it for a second. I know that me personally,
You as an individual.
I have received a great deal of positive feedback from our last episode, a very special episode of Telefriends.
An unexpected episode of Telefriends.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's been really nice, a real outpouring of,
Like a lot of positivity.
outpouring of support.
Not one you a bitch.
Not a single.
Well, my wife.
Right.
But I thought it was a weird way for her to wake me up, too.
Every morning.
I don't know if it's related to the
Glass
show.
of water in the face.
I don't know if it's related to the show or not, but she did wake me up that way.
I mean, so the thing about it is, that episode was a very Casey episode of Telefriends, and
And your jealousy kicked in.
yeah, so of course I was like, I have to murder you. No, it was what I'm saying is I was surprised at how much feedback that I got. I'm like, I'm not even the.
No, man, it's a two-headed
It's a
thing.
team. I'm saying, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard a lot from a lot more people. It was kind of a coming out episode for you, is the thing.
People always do the same thing.
Did you say big boys do the same thing?
Big boy do the same thing. Or people want to say nice things,
Yeah.
but when you're talking about something that makes people uncomfortable,
Yeah.
they're not quite sure how to do it.
Right.
Without, they don't want to feel pandering. They want to do it. So I got a lot of people who are like, that was a really good interaction between you and Bo. Stuff like that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Good interaction.
That's good interaction. Yeah. The thing is, for this week, for this Halloween special, which we're really gonna try to get out,
Lickety shit.
we put out a prompt.
Scare Bo.
Yeah, and the prompt was like, can you give me the? I don't watch scary movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm too easily scared.
Yeah. You don't like this creepy and the crawly.
I don't. I don't sleep that night. Anyway, we put out this prompt that was like, Bo hasn't seen any scary movies, so fucking call in with a recap of the scariest movie you've ever seen. Let's scare Bo to death.
Okay.
We got a lot of calls.
Excellent.
Nobody followed this prompt.
Well, here's the thing.
A prompt is just a prompt, man. It's just a thought starter.
It almost never.
Yeah.
No one ever listens to it.
No.
Ever. But it makes everybody want to call.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the
Yeah,
idea.
for sure.
Some people got close.
Hey, my spooky dudes. It's Rachel here.
That's good. Spooky dudes. I'm into it. All right.
So I'm actually firmly in Bo's camp of not really watching scary movies. They're not my cup of tea, although my fiance super into horror movies. Good for him. But there is a play that I've seen that I think fits this bill pretty well. It's called With Great Difficulty, Alice Sits.
It's called With Great Difficulty, Alice Sits.
Uh-huh. I think I've heard of this.
I have not.
And it takes place over a couple of scenes. And the first thing you see is an actress come out who's like playing a pregnant woman and has trouble sitting down into an armchair, picking stuff off the floor. Like your wife's been pregnant. You've probably seen the stage of pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
And somehow...
I like these, first of all, Rachel, once again, shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Second of all, I like these, this guy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's doing a little crowd work.
Yeah. This crowd of two.
She never gives birth. And as the play progresses, her stomach just gets bigger and bigger and bigger till it's like twice the size of her body.
Whoa.
It's humongous. She cannot walk.
Whoa.
There's a ghost child haunting the house that
Uh-huh.
sits on the belly and jumps on this woman, and it's just you can't move. You can't
Fuck.
do anything. She's totally obscured by this giant stomach, and yet she's supposed to keep doing her normal routine of trying to pick something up off the floor and sit down and give her husband a jacket or something. And
Get your own jacket.
the idea
She's
of
very
being
pregnant.
but never giving birth,
Just
it's
continually
terrifying.
getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
No, thank you. That doesn't sound great. And
Do you think, to create this special effect in the theater, do you think they brought in Weird Al to consult?
They had to.
and
That's in the
I'm pretty
business.
Who knows? Who would know better?
Yeah.
sure I had a weird dream the night I saw it. But I wonder, it felt like the opposite of how I feel pregnancy often goes in horror movies, where the horror is what you give birth to and not the not giving birth. So, yeah. Love to know what y'all think about that as people who don't have babies.
We do have babies.
Physically, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Anyway. Bye.
We didn't give birth to our baby.
B.
Thanks, Rachel. That does sound scary. Could you be scared in a theater where plays happen? It feels like there's something about the spectacle and immediacy of that spectacle.
Yeah, and
that
experiencing it
kind
with
of
others.
takes me out of
Yeah.
Like
it's
a
like the
movie-
same thing. The scariest things I've ever seen, on TVs and movies and shit, has never been at a movie theater or watching with friends. It's some weird fucking thing I've stumbled across by myself on the internet, way too close to the thing. It's hours since I should have been asleep.
Okay.
That's when it's scary.
Because you're all by yourself.
Because you had a moment of tricking yourself of removing the layers between you and the thing you're looking at.
Right. Right.
Reading about real serial killers is scariest when you're home by yourself
for sure.
at night. That's scary
sucks.
shit.
I kind of think that when you're watching a TV show or looking at a computer screen or something, it's like a window into another reality. And so there's something about being in a play for me where I'd feel
Yeah.
I'm obviously in a play.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which sounds weird. It feels like it would be easier the other way around, watching someone physically go through a thing.
Mm-hmm. But I wonder if it would give you too much of how are they doing this kind of feeling.
Maybe. Maybe.
You wouldn't saw the wonderful wizarding play of Harry Potter more.
I did.
Were you just spending the whole time going, how they did that? Or were you that's cool story, let's go?
I spent the entire time I was in that theater, I was just racked with guilt the whole time I was there. The whole time I was there.
Literally any other person in the world would be more interested in this than you
Yeah.
were?
Yeah. Have we told this story? I got fucking lottery seats to the fucking premiere of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child in London, and I was like, I'm only kind of a fan of this. Like,
So, friends, it's a very sleepy man in the field, Mike Yowie.
dude, shot back into a cannon, this guy.
Fishman.
I just finished an extra long shift at a haunted house where I get paid minimum wage to scream at people who are ungrateful.
I mean,
Now, I want to describe to you 3 scenes from 3 different movies, each of which I find particularly chilling or unnerving. I'm not scared by scary movies either. I'm more unnerved than anything else. But here we go. And also, this isn't saying that these movies are any good. I'm just saying that, the scenes from them that, that I don't want to say kept me up at night, but, before I close my eyes, I'm like, I'm thinking about that.
do me a favor real quick. Could you hit that light switch, that on off? Let's get dark in here.
Oh, shit.
So the first one is actually on Netflix, Gerald's Game, adapted from a Stephen King work.
Okay.
It's about a woman who is chained to a bed
I'm just closing my eyes, trying to get in the zone.
and is left there alone. There's way more to it than that, but whatever.
Okay.
And there's a scene at night where she's stuck in this bed in the middle of nowhere,
Sucks.
and you hear the front door opening, and you hear footsteps coming in, and she's completely alone. And the concept of that is fucking terrifying to me.
Agreed.
The idea that you're immobilized. I have sleep paralysis with some regularity that are accompanied by auditory hallucinations. Never visual, but always auditory. I often hear people coming in my front door. It's fucking terrifying. It's the worst.
Sucks.
I only have phone hallucinations.
What is that?
Where I think my phone's buzzing in my pocket all the time.
What? So I think what Mike is talking about is hypnagogic hallucinations, which I also experienced. I'm with you, Mike. They do suck.
That sounds like a bummer. I've developed a thing similar as I've gotten older.
Cool.
Which I believe is a deterioration of my mind.
Good.
Where if I start to get tired,
You get angry.
This is going to get weird.
Okay.
I see bugs.
No.
Like out of the corner of my eye,
Stop.
the edge of something, piece of the corner of the table. If I just move my head and like, at the right angle, it'll look like a bug for a second.
Whoa.
And it's got to the point where I don't react to it as much anymore because I'm used to it.
Whoa.
So when it is a bug, it's exciting shit.
Have you looked into it at all?
No, I don't want to know why I'm doing that.
You don't want to know why you're doing that.
And if I'm well rested and like feeling good, it doesn't happen.
You're bugging.
Straight bugging.
Second one would actually be the Paranormal Activity. That scene where she's just fucking standing next to the guy's bed, staring for hours. That's terrifying. The idea that you're like being watched at night.
Yeah.
That's really fucking scary. And then.
Thanks for calling from your underwater chamber, by the way.
It's cool that he can call from the bottom of a milkshake.
Similarly,
I know what his
Lords
third
of
one is.
Salem has a scene with a harlequin baby, like a giant harlequin baby, like at the foot of this person's bed, and like just staring and like wrapping its fucking whatever, like tendrils around. It's disgusting, and the idea that you wake up and at the foot of your bed is like some disgusting thing just staring at you.
So Mike suffers from sleep paralysis, and like all of these so far are very like sleep paralysis adjacent.
Yeah.
Spooks, scares. What do you say? What?
Spooks.
No.
Scare 'em ups.
Scare 'em ups. There you go.
And last would be a movie called.
What do you think it is?
Is this where you're at a restaurant with your friend and it's your birthday, and you don't tell the people it's your birthday, but your friend's like, "Hey, everybody, it's his birthday." Shit. This happened to Mike on Monday. Happy birthday, Mike.
Did you do that to them?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't remember the name of this fucking movie, and time's gonna run up before I figure it out. A bunch of dudes go on a fucking hike in Sweden, and they get lost in the woods. And there's scenes that they're just lost in the woods. That's a genuine fear of mine, being lost in the woods, because if you're lost really far in the woods, you're just fucking dead. Nobody's gonna find you. And like in all directions.
What are you saying? You're fine if you're lost in the woods?
You'll be all right.
So there's trees in all directions, and you just, it's just there's something about those scenes. in that movie that I can't remember the fucking name of. Casey's gotta fucking help me out on this one.
Nothing.
Dude's Lost in the Woods. I don't know, fucking Predator. Is that what Predator's about?
What was that movie with like Seth Green and Dax Shepard?
Gone paddling.
Something. Maybe it was that one.
Was it based off the video game where you're like right side, left side paddling? Remember that?
It was called something like Gone Fishing. Or...
Yeah.
How did they make such long careers out of shitty things is what I don't understand.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck?
Why do you know who Seth Green is?
Because he made a bunch of shitty shit.
Yeah,
like
man.
fucking Can't Hardly Wait and Gone Paddling and like...
And, yeah, it was just fucking very unnerving.
I don't mean to cut you off, but it is sort of late. We got to get through these things.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what the scariest thing of all is.
Okay.
The scariest thing that I've really seen or heard in, in recent times is that Taco Bell is discontinuing the toasted cheddar chalupa. It's leaving us.
It's overrated.
It's the fucking best item that they've had since the goddamn quesarito. And you know how much I love a fucking melty, cheesy, beefy motherfucking quesarito. So you understand how much this breaks my goddamn heart. I'm leaving. Tell friends. I'm hanging up. Just know that this man's heart is broken and his soul torn asunder by the lack of the toasted cheddar chalupa at participating Taco Bell restaurants.
Mike, I'm sorry for your loss, homie. I feel confident, though, that Taco Bell's going to introduce a new, cheesier, beefier, greasier thing.
Mm-hmm. Crustier,
Yeah.
conier.
There's a few things you can count on.
Taco nuggets. That's what's coming, by the way.
Oh, really? I'm in.
I just made it up, but it sounds good.
What they should have is fucking, like, taco dumplings where the fucking case, like the wrapper, the dumpling wrapper is Dorito, and the inside is fucking beef and cheese.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would eat so many of those. No? Taco dumplings.
Well, yeah. But that's not that different from my taco nugget idea.
No, I'm saying, but this has a case. I was trying to yes and your shit. So there's a few things you can count on as a co-host of Telefriends. One of them is that Ross, Big Ross,
Big ass Ross,
is going to entirely miss the point.
So I'm going to nominate Showgirls
Right off the bat.
All right.
because it is scary bad,
Okay.
such that it remains one of only two movies where I walked out. I actually saw it in the theater. I just barely made the NC-17 legal age cut, and despite my adolescence one-track... all right, sorry, I'm on the road, and that was the Google Maps lady. Okay, so...
Oh, I thought
awful
you pulled
movie.
over to the side of the highway before you called. That's what the joke I was going to make. But no.
I left in the middle of it, and the only other, I think at the beginning, she loses the female protagonist. She loses
Protagonist is funny.
her luggage.
You're shaking your head like it's
Don't
not
care
funny.
for it.
Protagonist is funny, dude.
And it just goes downhill from there, I'm afraid, in more ways than one. The only other time I want to say that
Does he think going downhill is like sexual innuendo of some kind?
He wouldn't know.
Is it?
left the movie early was when I was 6 years old or so. All I lived and breathed and knew was Star Wars. And so when I saw an ad in the paper for The Last Starfighter, I assumed, great, next Star Wars, where do I sign? So my mother took me and my wee little brother to go see this movie, and
Little Ross.
Bigger Ross.
did not
The Last Starfighter's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
get what we bargained for. This is a tradition, not
No, you got a much better fucking movie than any Star Wars movie.
a horror movie per se, and yet
At
it
all.
pulls me because in the first 5 minutes, you have this alien in human's clothing with a
You're an alien in human.
I relate to your experience.
spaceship that resembles a Ford Escort, and picks up our male protagonist
I think you only get one.
Can't go down that well twice.
to give him a lift to God knows.
This is what we should do. We should just do punch up on Ross's calls from here.
We need to get a whiteboard in here.
And diagram the shit.
Slashing marks.
knows where, and he removes his eyeballs, which
What if he calls
is
and starts talking about showgirls? They'd be disappointed. He starts describing it, and it turns out he's talking about Chinatown.
Whoa.
Wouldn't that be funnier?
That would be way funnier. If he just set it up as though it was Showgirls and then just started describing Chinatown,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe do that next time.
it's just which is disconcerting for the chauffeur to remove the organs that
It sounds like he's looking for directions. Like he's actively talking while also looking for what hotel he's supposed to be staying at.
He's got a MapQuest printout.
He's like the end of a road trip where he's at the beach, but he's not sure which one is the hotel he got because there's 17 of them in a row here. Sun Valley.
I'm like, Comfort Inn? Comfort Suite.
Comfort Through. But I'm also making a phone call.
I was in H-E-B, the grocery store, the other day.
Brag.
And there was this guy standing in the greeting card aisle. Looked to be about 45. Supercuts haircut, that kind of dude.
My people.
Cargo shorts, flip-flops. Just really studying a road atlas.
Oh.
I was like, this dude is behind the times. What the fuck? It's like he's been standing there for 25 years.
Yeah.
Anyway.
supposed to see with, but it just gets worse. So that right there, my brother and I are about to piss ourselves. And then what the last straw is when the protagonist
The last straw fighter.
When the what? What's the word he's about to say?
is couriered to some spaceship in the outer space, and there's an alien that looks like doo-doo. So if you don't think that you can't relate to being a timid.
Thanks, Ross.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling, Ross.
Oh, we're so glad you called, Ross. It's good to have you back in the fold. Good to have you calling. And
Oh, I sounded like an asshole just then. I was trying to go for good to have you back, Ross. But instead I was like, good to have you back, Ross.
I think I was hitting it.
Yeah, you were.
I was
you're
right where I
fucking
needed to be.
pitch perfect.
Yeah. Gigantic Ross, everybody.
3 protagonists. The first one, if he had just let it slide,
I didn't trust it,
yeah,
and it paid off.
fuck. Yeah, the move is to slip it in there. Don't call attention to it. Get in, get out.
My inherent of distrust of Ross's comedy paid off yet again.
I feel like he's gonna get there. I feel like season 3, episode 6, he's gonna really fucking nail it. Okay, let's take a break.
Boom.
Hello again. It's me, Abraham Lincoln, 16th President of the United States, an undefeated backyard wrestler. I can't support the telefriends. I'm dead. But you can. You're very much alive. And oh, to be alive again, my friends. I tell you what I'd do if I could still draw breath. I'd go to patreon.com/telefriendspodcast and give these, my most precious dudes, all of my money. Then I'd follow them on social media so I can see what they're doing with it. But you don't have to do all that. No, see, the best way to support Telefriends, absolutely the best thing you can do to help the show is to tell a friend about it. Get them in here, because the Tell-A-Friends love you, and I, Abraham Lincoln, I love you too.
Back to the show.
Back to the show. For the rest of the show, we're going to listen to one caller who did not call in the plot of a scary movie, but did call in.
The plot of A Scary Ass Life?
Yes. This is real shit.
Hey, Tell-A-Friends. It's your friend CJ. I've got another story for you guys, so
CJ, hi.
Hey, CJ.
I'll call this one Ghost Story 2, and it might be a few messages because I don't know how long it's going to go. But this one's a little bit scarier than the last one.
Oh, good.
If you guys are looking for scary stories. All right. So this one, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was hanging out with my best friend, John Connor.
Who are you? John Connor!
And his wife. His wife, at the time, was house sitting for one of her college teachers, who was also an author. And they had like a two-story condo kind of thing. Anyway, we were over there, and she told us that she was feeling something strange in that place, and she wanted us to kind of check it out too, because she at least knew that I have a bunch of stories, and I feel like I've encountered a lot of different things. So anyway, we went to check it out. So the way this place was set up was like downstairs, kitchen, living room, upstairs, 2 bedrooms. There was a master bedroom, and the master bedroom had, I guess, even like a 3rd story. It was like a loft over the master bedroom, an open loft. And we went up into the loft area, and it's kind of like a private study. It was the teacher, author's, I guess, creative space. And when we went up there, it seemed a lot darker than the rest of the place in a way that wasn't just lighting. I don't know. Maybe it just felt ominous or something. Or the lighting was just shit. But anyway, on going up there, I saw out of one corner of this tiny loft area, like an inky black floating small kind of like all kinds of different tentacle kind of things going on with it, and it looked asymmetrical. I know this message is about to end, so I'll call back. All right.
You're like my inky tentacled object. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey guys, CJ here. Ghost Story 2, Part 2. All right. So the thing about seeing things for me is that about seeing apparitions or whatever it is that I think I'm seeing, whenever I try to look straight at it, it disappears. It's only really out of side glances or out of the corner of my eye, and oftentimes I need to like scan a little bit back and forth just to see something, if we think something's there. And that's what was happening. Every time I tried to look straight at that thing, I couldn't see it. So I glanced over to the side, was able to see it still, and it was floating there and just waving slightly with its weird tentacle things, and it was completely dark, like no light was reflecting it, no shadow, whatever. It was shadow itself, I guess. And both John Connor and his wife, they couldn't see it, but they were like, oh, something feels really, really pissed off up here. I'm feeling pissed off, and I have no reason to be pissed off. There's something really upset up here. And I'm like, I don't feel what you're feeling, but I can see it, and it's right over there. And after they said that and I said it, it shot like across the room, something that, you know, sci-fi movie, whatever, like speed of light. It was just boom, boom, just like across the room. And it moved in an arc that didn't seem, again, like symmetrical. It moved in kind of a weird wave with like almost a spiral in it. It just like zinged across, and it stayed in a different corner of the room. And same thing. They're like, oh man, it's upset. It's upset. Let's get out of here. And I was like, okay, that's fine. It's over there. And we walked out of the room. So that was the first part of it, and we just started like, we went to a coffee shop that day and we're talking about it, and we're like, oh, I wonder what that is. And his wife was saying like, you know, I think that author, she has some really dark writing, and she might be using that as inspiration, or maybe that thing was drawn to her or connected to her in some way. And we're like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Who knows? You know, artists often have really strange things occur around them, I think, at least what I've encountered. But let me get to the next part of it, as this is about to end again. And I'll try to make it more concise. I'm sorry about dragging on, guys.
Because here's the thing about CJ calls. There's 2 more of these. Same story. I never doubt him for a second. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's the people that it's, even if I don't believe in this kind of thing,
right?
Which I very much don't.
Really?
There's people that it's more fun to believe and go along with that aren't. Because he's not doing it to be like, look at this cool story I've got.
Right.
He just thinks it's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not about him.
He has nothing
being
to,
the interesting person.
He has nothing to prove about it.
Yeah.
He's just like, you asked for a scary
He's not
thing.
trying to convince me.
No.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know that he's not bullshitting you.
Yeah.
Like,
this is something he believes.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Okay. What do you think he sees?
I don't know.
Hey guys, CJ,
welcome back.
Ghost Story
I don't
2,
care.
Part 3.
You don't care what?
I don't care what it is he sees. I know I don't believe in it.
That's super convenient, though.
No, it's not. It's kind of nice. It's because I like.
And it also feels a little dismissive.
No. I tend it as the opposite. I tend it as for a person whose opinion I care less about. I don't have patience for this kind of thing. There's nothing fucking worse than some idiot trying to tell you either about their dreams or their personal ghost story. But when a person who's confident about what they're talking about is talking about something that happened to them, like CJ is doing in this situation,
Yeah.
I like it. It's just a story.
Yeah. He's just telling you a story.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking about, like, well, you probably actually.
I will say this, so far, if I was in this situation, I would have read at least some of the author's work.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I'll say.
Yeah.
Because you could tell he's doing a thing like in the telling of the story where he's like, yeah, we're at a coffee shop and like, oh, she's got some dark writing. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Because he's like, fuck, I've been talking for 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This shit's about to cut off.
Yeah.
I can't get that.
Yeah.
But that would be where I went first.
For sure.
Hey guys, CJ, Ghost Story 2, Part 3.
Yes.
That night, we went to a party. I was single at the time, met a cute chick.
Nice.
Vibed really well with her.
He's the vibe master.
It's been settled.
Whatever, we had a good time. We came back
Wink.
to the place that his wife was house sitting. They coupled up and had the master bedroom. I had the single other bedroom by myself. I didn't invite the chick back.
Gentleman.
But
A gentleman never tells.
About his chicks, man.
that night, went to sleep, and on the door, 5 loud knocks happened and woke me up, and I was so damn scared from that. It just woke me from, dead sleep. And I remember my mind thinking at first, I was like, I wonder if that girl came over. Man, I didn't tell her where I was staying. I didn't ask her to come over, none of that. But that's just where the brain just tries to rationalize weird things.
Sure.
Anyway, and then I knew, like, no, that's not. And that's not my boy. That's not anybody. That's not a person. I just had this intuitive or gut feeling like, no, this is that thing. This thing that was pissed off earlier. was knocking on my door.
Knock, knock, knocking on CJ's door. Hey, 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 hey.
I woke up scared. I did, like I mentioned in the last ghost stuff, I did my own kind of tool to take care of myself. And I just spoke out like, go away. And I had this feeling of pressure kind of trying to move in to the room and move over me. I didn't see anything, but I could feel it. And I was becoming more confident, and I was just like, go away. And it moved
Sounds
away.
like my daughter.
The feeling moved away. Whatever that was right outside the door stopped. I caught my breath. I got my courage up. I got up out of bed, opened the door. I checked the whole place. I even went over to my best friend and his wife's bedroom. I listened, didn't hear anything in there.
You were like, oh.
Jump.
And I looked around outside of their bedroom, the whole place. Didn't see anybody. The front door was locked. There was nobody in there, no broken windows, nothing. So I went back to sleep. I was pissed from that. I was like, okay, this thing is messing with me now, and I hope it's not messing with my friends. So
What was it? Crunch?
Excuse me?
Your French word for confrontation.
I can't remember.
Confront.
The confront. We're entering the confront of the story.
hey, CJ, Ghost Story 2, Part 4.
On Telefriends Season 2, Episode 4. Yeah, dog.
666. Yeah.
Next morning, I wake up pissed off at this thing, and John Connor's wife had left to go to work. John Connor was off that day. I said, hey,
He doesn't terminate on Tuesday.
we need to confront this thing. It totally messed with me last night. You guys didn't even wake up from it, because that's what he said. And so we went back up into the loft in the morning, and again, I could see it up there. And again, I could see it in the corner. And again, my friend was like, this thing is really agitated and really upset. I can just feel those emotions, and I don't know where they're coming from. And
I wonder if at any point he was concerned that if he was to dispel this energy, capture it in some way, he would ruin the career of an author.
Maybe this is what's right. This is what writes the books.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe had he done that, he would be writing the books right now.
Oh, dude.
so I was like, I don't care. I'm pissed off. And I looked around for it. I saw it, and I was like, okay, you need to stop messing with us. I don't know what you are or what you're doing here, or if you're hurting people or what you're trying to do. You're trying to scare me. I'm not scared of you. You need to stop it. And my boy, John Connor,
Have you seen this boy?
turned and looked at me, and the expression on his face was not one that I recognized. And at this point, I had known this guy for, at this point, probably like 8 years. And he was my best friend, and he's still my best friend. So I
Shout out to John Connor. What up, John Connor?
What up?
felt like I knew him pretty well.
That'd be a pretty good rap name, right?
Looking at me,
I think there is a John Connor
Yeah.
rapper. So, yeah.
Not too good.
strange.
No, not that good.
He started staring at me and putting a smile on his face and starting to chuckle like really low. And I said, knock it off. And he just like shook his face, and he was just like weird looking to me, like confused. He was like, what? I was like, let's go downstairs. And we start walking downstairs, and he pauses on the stairs, and he's looking at me, and his face starts changing. And I just get his hand, and I just start dragging him down the stairs. And he gets down into the living room,
His
and
wife's
he's
still
like
up there.
shaking his head and shaking his face around and stuff. And I'm like, you're okay. Snap out of it. Don't let this thing mess with you. You're fine. You know, I'm pissed off. Whatever. We we end up getting out of the place. We get breakfast somewhere away from the place, and he's like, dude, that thing totally just like took me over for a minute, and I didn't even recognize what was going on. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I know, I was there, I saw it, but you're here now, you're fine. Anyway,
There's 10 seconds left of this call.
Anyway, that's Ghost Story 2 for you guys for this season of Tell a Friend.
So
Love you guys. Jams.
Love you too, CJ. Jams. But he's just like, this is your problem, John Connor's girlfriend, wife.
Yeah, we'll see you later. We're gonna go downstairs.
We're gonna go eat breakfast. Deuces. Fuck.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you think John Connor's just fucking with him?
I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of don't think so.
No. I think they're probably pretty both on board with that version of events.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary stuff, man.
That's fun. And it's like...
That's a legit gripping yarn.
It doesn't have the flowery additions you get when someone's just bullshitting you with a thing that they think is going to creep you out. It's too...
There was no like velvet curtains, melty candles.
And talk about being pissed off about it. And like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I could see.
It makes it feel real.
Yeah. I like that reaction.
Yeah.
That seems very genuine of just being like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Casey.
Hey, Bo.
This has been Telefriends.
Say what? That's a fun new voice I can do. Yeah, really say who? Who?
Yeah. So, yeah, fucking thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. 304-518-JAMS.
Jams.
Now here's something you might not know. The White House didn't have a working toilet with running water until 1876, 11 years after I died. But it sure got one now, and I will see you in it.